Lui, c'est Yotam Ottolenghi.
Oh my god, this cinnamon is really to die for.
Si vous le connaissez pas, vous avez forcément feuilleté un de ses livres de cuisine, vu qu'il en a vendu plus de 5 millions dans le monde. On l'a donc invité chez Rollinger pour qu'il vous explique enfin comment utiliser toutes les épices de votre placard à épices.
You hate coriander, okay.
Parce qu'il n'y a pas que le sel et le poivre dans la vie.
Where is your cumin? Oh, here it is. I will take you through these spices, which are my inspiration, and I'm just gonna have a bit of fun. We can talk, we can choose. So I've already had a quick look before. I'm telling you a little secret, but there is a Ras El Hanout, a Moroccan spice mix, which has got fenugreek, it's got pepper, it's got rose, ginger, so it's a little bit sweet, but it's also savory, so I'm gonna grab that and take it with me. Sri Lankan black pepper. Oh, it's got this kind of dusty in a good way, smell that I love, and black and white pepper. So I often love to create like coatings for vegetables for frying with white pepper. Think a little bit like pepper squid with white pepper. It always gives you that really nice peppery aroma. And then there's a whole lot of long peppers as well, and they give you not only that kind of mild warm heat in the background. This is from Cambodia. They smell like chocolate, so they add this kind of chocolatey, really, so it's the heat and the chocolate flavor, really nice. And I can see that going into dessert, different vegetable marinades, fish, and I've been told that this one, red one, oh no, oh that's another one. I mean, the amount of acidity that's in these, baie de timut, I've never tried that, but it's so sharp. It's almost like lemon or lime. Pink peppercorns that I use a lot. They're not really peppercorns, but they do have that kind of perfume flavor. The nice thing about them, add a lot of color, but they're that kind of last minute addition because you don't even need to crush them with a pestle and mortar. You can just literally crush them with your fingers, and they add so much color, especially if you have a sauce that is white, like a yogurty, creamy dressing, both for vegetables and for anything else you wanted to, like meatballs. And here we've got like the spices. So I've seen some mixes there, which are always great, but I also particularly like just the naked plain spices, from nutmeg to sumac to different kinds of sesame. And then obviously we've got cumin, cardamom, turmeric, all those flavors that make everything that I love cooking really, really sing. So I've got some vegetables here and I'm going to try and see what I can do with them. So I would say I've got like this beautiful tray of vegetables here with me. Obviously I love vegetables. These vegetables, they're all orange and they're all sweet. And I think it's really important when you think about how to use spices is to think what is the natural flavor of the vegetable that you're going to cook before you start looking at the spices. So I'm just going to leave the sweet potato and the carrot here for a second. I'm just going to take this butternut and walk around and see what works with it. So the one thing that immediately sticks to mind is cinnamon. It's not very original, but cinnamon is a sweet spice. And when you create layers of flavor in your food, it's really nice to create different layers or different structures that all have different kinds of sweetness. So you can have brown sugar, you can have cinnamon, you can have some ground star anise, you can have cardamom. All those sweet spices work really well with the natural sweetness of the butternut squash. Again, I would think of I would take this butternut, chop it up, whether it's for a soup or for a roasted vegetable dish or whatever I choose to do, and start adding all these wonderful sweet, so either the cinnamon itself, before it's, oh my God, this cinnamon is really to die for. So you can infuse a marinade, if it's got enough liquid, with this cinnamon. You can put it in hot oil and infuse it. Or I would use ground cinnamon for this. I would ground some star anise, maybe a bit of cumin for a bit of savory notes in the background. So there's cumin here, turmeric, which adds flavors, but also adds color, ginger, all that could go into a soup, or if I roast the vegetables, it can be roasted. Or yeah, those are kind of the two of the main options. But when I talk about roasting butternut or roasting carrots, there's really so many ways around it. You can spread it on the tray, you can grill them first and put them in the oven. But all those wonderful spices that I've got here, there's just so much. It's very hard to choose, but they would all go really, really well. And I've got a cauliflower. Cauliflower, what do I like with cauliflower? I like cumin seeds, freshly toasted and ground. Cumin is like the most international spice that I know. You know, you can find it in Chinese cooking, in Mexican cooking, all around the Middle East and in North America and North Africa. And I would toast and grind some cumin and add that to the cauliflower for the roasting process. But also, you know, spices like allspice work really, really well. And I think what I would go next with this particular cauliflower is try to think about, like, because it's got this it comes from the field, right? So I want more things that feel grassy. So I've seen earlier some of those dried herbs. So where did I put them? I'm going to grab some of those wonderful thyme and the mixed herbs, and especially things with a bit of aniseed flavor, like tarragon, like basil. All those dried herbs really would work really well with that kind of smell of the field of the cauliflower. And if we talk about aniseedy flavor, which I love aniseedy flavors, they come from aniseed, they come from fennel seeds, and they come from basil, tarragon, a bit in parsley. So again, when I'm talking about creating layers, is giving more of those things adds really nice complexity. And what I would do with this cauliflower right now, if I could, is break it into florets, take all these leaves out and take half the florets and put them in the oven with the cauliflower leaves and roast them for a long time, get them really, really nice, lots of color. And the one thing that people sometimes are afraid of getting color on their vegetables, this is like the worst sin, a pale vegetable. You want to get a lot of color in there. And I'd use the other half of the cauliflower to grate, and I'd mix them both together. So you'd have some roasted and some fresh, grated. So you get a really nice fresh salad with some fried onion, and then those aniseedy flavors from the herbs and the spices. There's a small aubergine here, so I would want a few more of those with me if I could. And what I was thinking about this aubergine is what I could do is use some cardamom. It's maybe my second favorite spice because it's so good for savory and sweet dishes, also for baking. And I would probably use some curry leaves. So cardamom and curry leaves work really well together. And then I would want something a bit acidic, like lemongrass, something like that, like lime leaves. So I would create something that's got the sweetness and the acidity of those spices. So aubergine can really take anything. It's just kind of a sponge ready to extract flavor. So just a quick recipe is I'd cut it into like 2 centimeter slices, toss them in olive oil with some of these spices in it. That will infuse the oil when it cooks, and then it looks really good. And maybe I put a couple of star anise there as well. They'd look really great there. Oh, so good. Another aniseedy flavor. And I would toss them in, put them in the oven. So hot oven, olive oil, salt, pepper, and the spices on a tray. They're not overlapping. They're just going straight into the oven. And then you want to get a bit of humidity in the oven. So it's good to put a tray with a bit of water. And then I roast my aubergine anytime between half an hour and 45 minutes. You get a lot of color. And I take it out. Then it can cool down. And then it's a basis for so many things. So you can turn it into, you can take it and put it in a sauce, like in a rice sauce, a curry, or to go with rice, or in a pasta sauce. But you can just make a simple platter of aubergine. So you kind of layer a platter with them. And you take those spices yet again and infuse oil, and then take that oil as a base for a sauce. So you can add fresh herbs to it. You can add some dairy like yogurt or cream and spoon that on top. And then take some of these wonderful mixture of peppercorn that we've got here, some black, some red, some green peppers, and then just sprinkle that on top. And you've got like the ultimate way with this wonderful aubergine.
Konbini,